Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Sean from Major Leads, and I wanted to film a quick video based on some feedback I've been getting from some of the questions that you have filled out. So, one of the themes that comes up a lot is how to close clients faster, how to speed up the process, how to get them to sign on the dotted line, hand over their credit card details or a check or whatever you do for collecting payments. So let me talk about this a little bit because there's I think three elements that you really have to nail. And there's a lot of, salesmanship tactics. I'm not going to really get into that today. But there's three things that will help you close more deals. So when I was interning in grad school at Madison Square Garden, I got put in the position of selling suites for the New York Rangers, and they were going for $1 million. Now, it sounds really hard to sell a high ticket item. It actually isn't. But what made it really easy is it was a highly desirable item to have. So the first client that I closed was from Goldman Sachs, and they wanted a suite at the Madison Square Garden for the Rangers, and then $1 million to them was no problem. They had obviously billions of dollars under in the bank account, so it was very easy, right? And that leads me to the first thing that you need to have. If you have a fantastic offer, closing deals becomes a hell of a lot easier. Now, what do I mean by offer? It's the combination of the product or service that you're selling with the guarantees, the pricing, the delivery, everything put together. It's like the whole cake put together. And if the better the offer, the better chances you have of closing a deal. So let me give you an example. When I was selling copywriting services, now I was charging in some cases $20,000 for a package, but I was able to do something a little different than most copywriters. Like a copywriter, I might be competing against, be like, oh, look at these results and look at these controls that no one can beat and all that. But there's one thing I could do that they couldn't do, and the thing that I could do that they couldn't do was actually run paid media. So if someone paid me, 10,000, 15,000 a month, which is for me is what I charge typically, I can not only write a killer ad and a killer landing page, but I can also run your traffic. So I had an offer that I could incorporate, like, hey, I will not only write your copy, emails, whatever, but I can also run your ad campaigns. So you'll get a bunch of cohesion between everything and it'll convert better. It wasn't a very hard thing to sell because people could understand like what the value was. If someone doesn't take your offer, it's because they generally just don't understand the value. They can't work it out in their head where it makes sense for them. That's our jobs. That's what we got to do. But if you have a great offer, if it's something that's desirable, that has a great guarantee, and that is the easiest way to improve your offer is just have a great guarantee. Like our arcade gaming consoles, we give you a 6 month guarantee. Don't worry, I'm not pitching you arcade consoles, but you could use it for 6 months and basically decide, hey, if it's not for me, I can get, I'll just send it back. We'll give you a prepaid label and you get your money back. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I think really helps if you're doing, especially if you're doing like a service-based business, is in your lead generation, collection efforts, is to pre-qualify and pre-frame your prospects. So let me dive into that and separate the two out. So pre-framing is basically getting someone in the mindset that they need to get something done. Now, the way that you do that is by the questions that you ask. Now, you might have noticed when you came through my funnel, I asked you like, what you do, how many leads you get, what are you trying to, questions about what you're trying to accomplish. What you want to do when you do this is ask the person where they are now and ask them where they want to be, and what is in the middle is what's stopping them. And then that's where you come in to help them unclog that backup so they can get to where they want to be. Okay. And if you can understand their needs in the pre-framing sequence better than your competitors, you're going to have an easier time closing them. Because when you get on the phone with them, and this is I think the mistake people make with their lead gen, you already know their problems, so you can speak more definitively about it. Now, there's a ton of sales training, that will help you with this. And this is not what we do here, but I can definitely point you in the right directions if you guys want me to. There's a lot of resources I think are really good, including my friend Josh, who's awesome. But the pre-qualifying thing is the same questions. You look at them and you decide if this person actually could benefit, from what you offer. You know, it's those questions that you ask during the lead gen can really help you later down on the road. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to get the cheapest lead. You want to get the best quality lead, and that's by asking questions. Like, I could get cheaper leads than I'm getting for this exact funnel now, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm going to try to get quality, folks to come through here so I can help them, whether it's just by this free content or if it's something I do for you, or coach you through. And then the final thing is that it's just salesmanship. It's just having the ability to listen to somebody's needs and be able to articulate how you can help them and overcome their objections. And objections, as I'm sure you're aware of, isn't necessarily saying no. It's just more like, I don't understand this, or I don't see the value, and I just need some, some reinforcement or some clarification on it. So, like, when I would sell our arcade cabinets, which would run like $5,000 to $8,000 over the phone, what I typically found the objection is how hard is this going to be for me to set up? A lot of people thought they actually had to put the games in the machine and put the joysticks together. And once you explain, no, it comes plug and play. Like, all you got to do is just find the hardest thing you're going to have a time with is get your kids to help you move it into a spot, unless you want to pay for white glove service and have it done for you. But that's typically the hardest thing. It was more having somebody basically understand that there's nothing they had to do except plug it in, flip the switch on, pick the game they want to play, and away you go. All right. So, but if you're looking and if you're struggling to close more deals, a lot of the work is actually, in my opinion, done before you get on the phone with them. If you do that work up front, you get them, you get them to answer the real critical questions, so you can understand where they're coming from, so you can empathize with what their situation is, and then articulate what you can do to fix it. That, I think, is going to save you a ton of time trying to close deals. So I hope this is helpful. Do me a favor, if you found it useful, just just respond, just hit the reply button, say, hey, thank you thanks, this was helpful. Or if you have just questions, even if you disagree, that's fine. This is just for you as a resource to improve your lead generation efforts, so you can close more business. All right, thank you.